So now I have 5,000 subscribers and it already looks like 6,000 subscribers isn't even that far away, which is crazy. I sent a poll out on my community tab asking what you would like to see for my 5,000 subscriber special, and a lot of you responded with generic Q&A, so I guess generic Q&A it is. And a lot of people responded, like a lot, so I'm gonna be separating this video into like maybe 5 different videos or something like that, because there's so many questions and I write such long answers, and I do actually answer everyone's questions, so yeah, this might end up just being an ongoing thing. By the way, I've grouped similar questions together so that I don't have to answer them twice. And also you might see multiple questions on the screen at the same time, which they're basically the same question. Saturn57 asks, do you like the content you make? Are you satisfied with the editing process and the video's theme? Personally, I like most of it. Happy face. From a creator's perspective, absolutely not. Every time I upload something and look back at it, I sort of cringe at my own voice and think that I should have included this or shortened this down or that transition, etc. It's a dilemma that I think a lot of creators have on YouTube. But in the end, I think you just have to learn to look past it with the knowledge that no one online is really going to care if the content is perfect, just as long as it's engaging. So I do say, if I never made my YouTube channel and there was a person out there who made the exact same content that I did, I'd probably love that content and follow their channel avidly, because Ninjadan GD focuses on all the Geometry Dash stuff that I'm interested in, and I would follow a channel that covers that sort of stuff. On the whole editing side of things, I'm mostly happy with the editing process. The only issue is that it takes so long to edit a video. I've taken a brief look at Xcreator Goal's AI plugin for GD editing, and I came to the conclusion that even though it does speed up the editing process, videos come out similar and the meme placement is a little off, and the final products almost feel a bit soulless, so yeah, I can't see my editing process speeding up anytime soon. But another thing that I would like to say regarding editing is I've always found it rather exciting when I play around with different styles of content, because most of my videos, like my commentary and botting videos, have their own sort of style which I've stuck with throughout the rest of my videos. And the interesting thing about this is that I've stuck to this style since creating the first or second entry of that series, and only done slight expansions and improvements. So essentially every time I create a new series or a standalone video that isn't anything like I've tried before, it's always exciting because I get to play around and create a brand new editing style for that particular video, and I feel like it expands my editing skills. CatSussyGaming asks, hey, have you ever been demotivated making videos? I've been having this problem for a while now, despite my videos getting decent views. Have you any tips on how to overcome demotivation? P.S. I've been here since you've been trying to verify explosive. It's great to see how your channel has grown. Keep up the good work. Demotivation is a real killer. I don't come across it too often while making videos, which is lucky, but I do come across it while trying to beat hard levels. As you would have seen in my I beat a very insane level video, the amount of quite easy levels I could have beaten and claimed as a new hardest were immense. In fact, let's count: Finger Dash, Ultra Paracosm, Acheron Circles, Void Club. Actually, that's not too many. But I don't really have that many tips to avoid demotivation, but I feel like a good preventative measure for demotivation is always to make content on things that you yourself would be interested in rather than the general community. That's what I've found has helped me to keep motivated. Also, thanks for the support. I had no idea you'd been around for so long. 50 Stakes asks, will you ever beat a demon level? If so, what one would you beat? Flipstar9 asks, do you ever want to improve at Geometry Dash and actually beat demon levels? Sketcher asks, are you planning on beating any extreme demons in the future? Congregation asks, when do you plan on beating a demon? To be honest, I'm not that much of a GD player. Like I said in my I beat a very insane level video, I basically play the recent tab and give each level about 30 attempts before I give up, and that still applies today. I'm more of a level builder, decorator, and content creator than I am a player. My goal in this game was never really to get good enough to beat an extreme demon, but rather to make a cool level that I'm proud of. Not necessarily rate worthy or anything like that, but just something that I'm proud of. I'm not actively grinding anything, and I can't see myself actively grinding anything for a while. But if I do end up being an easy demon, well then I bet an easy demon. It's simply that. I'm not really that interested in improving my Geometry Dash gaming ability. TW Videos 1739 asks, Which classic impossible level would you like to see get a visual upgrade? This is a great question. I love this question. There are lots of very cool impossible levels that I love. In fact, I could seriously make a whole video based on this question, but I'm going to give a few answers and keep it brief because I could easily go on for about 15 minutes talking about these. One of these levels is Absolute Zero, which is an impossible level made by Cyrillic. It doesn't look that hard, but apparently it's harder than Aiden's Azure Flare, and the decoration is pretty basic and could look great with a redecoration. Another one is Silent Labyrinth, which I also love. However, it does have a completely unsight-readable memory section, which I think could be exemplified with some sort of decoration gimmick that could look really cool. But that's about all I'll talk about right now. By the way, the two levels I mentioned are humanly impossible at this stage, so I don't think there'd be any reason for them to be decorated for quite some time. Flipstone9 asks, I actually have a few questions, so here they are I guess. 1. How do you feel being a semi-popular Geometry Dash YouTuber that got blessed by the algorithm? 2. What influenced you to build Explosive, the level that got me on your channel? So for question 1 about the semi-popular Geometry Dash YouTuber, in some ways it's great because you can upload a video you put a lot of effort into and get recognized by a lot of people, and you can get near instant gratification for just about anything that you post, which I do worry about sometimes because instant gratification, much like TikTok and other services, has the potential to be extremely addictive. In fact, back when I had about 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, I'd reply to comments once per day, but these days it's pretty much every time I get a notification I answer it with something. I do read every comment by the way, like every good YouTuber should. Another thing I've noticed after getting attention on GD YouTube is nearly every time I join a stream of a pro player, beating some new list demon or something, and I start sending messages and I start seeing other messages in the chat which say things like OMG, Ninjadan GD is here, which I found quite odd at first. I mean, I don't consider myself a minor GD celebrity at this point, but people are acting as if I am. And this has been happening since the Why Cry Locked is Impossible video, and I feel I'm only going to get more and more notice from this point on. One thing that's come to my attention around the whole semi-popular YouTuber idea is that I have to be very careful when I post information. I need to fact check and make sure that I'm not mispronouncing things, because I don't want some person to be spreading misinformation on the internet. And the fact is that if I did get something wrong, I'll get called out in the comments, which is a good thing because I'm now aware of it, but also, it means I lose my credibility as a YouTuber. Recently I've learnt to be very careful with my pronunciation because there was one occurrence on my most popular video where my tongue slipped where I said mega collaboration and ended up sounding like I said something else that wasn't so friendly. And now there's like 30 so clips circulating around GD YouTube and GD Twitter because of that unfortunate incidents, and I do apologise, but overall, it's pretty good. Getting recognition for the hard work I put into my larger videos is great, and I've been getting so many positive comments for it too, which is great. Now on the second question, which is what influenced me to build Explosive. Well, for those of you who don't know, in my earliest videos which gained a lot of views were on world record runs from the level that I made, called Explosive. However, before I could verify the level, Flipstone9 beat it before me, so I made a video about it and it became my first 1,000 view video. But on to the question. Explosive is not really as special as you all think it is. Explosive was just one of the few unfinished levels that remained on my account after I lost most of my levels back in 2.0. So it was either going to be Explosive or Crylock that I grinded, so of course I would choose the easier one. But on to the actual level itself. I feel like it was mostly inspired by the song, as I wanted to make a memory level that synced to Pursuit by Boom Kitty. But of course I'd barely seen any memory levels at this point apart from Clubstep, so I sort of made it up as I went along, which is why there are semi-transparent saws in the way rather than full visible saws. It's because I was trying to make it sort of like a memory level, but didn't really end up that well. Then of course it abruptly ends at the dual ball section because the level was unfinished. In fact, while I'm here, just another fun explosive fact. The explosive that we all know today of the ball section is actually not the original explosive, because the original explosive cuts off near the end of the first wave. The version that we have today is actually an auto version that I was continuing building past the original level. Then I removed the auto parts and accidentally updated the level 2 years ago, creating the explosive with the ball section that we know today.